Now this is just kind of a funny thing that happened yesterday because Joe Biden had he had one of his YouTube I don't know, interviews or sessions with Hillary Clinton yesterday, and I found this quite fascinating. And apparently, now I used to call him Creepy Joe because all the videos of him, just sniffing kids' hairs and being just a little too touchy-feely. Not any, I don't know if it's intentional or if it's just Joe being Joe, but it's weird and it's creepy. But now the president of the United States gave him the name Sleepy Joe, and I never really understood why he would say Sleepy Joe instead of Creepy Joe, because Creepy Joe is pretty common. But yesterday he had Hillary Clinton on his YouTube channel. By the way, I maybe in the chat, maybe I should think about this. Maybe if y'all think this is a good idea or not, should I start a campaign to see if I could get more subscribers on YouTube than Sleepy Joe Biden? Joe Biden's YouTube channel only has 47,000 subscribers. I wonder if I should try that. Anyway, so Sleepy Joe, now I know why they call him Sleepy Joe, because here's from his 1 hour live stream with Hillary Clinton. Apparently, Sleepy Joe was having a little bit of trouble staying awake.
But we've also
Here, let me pause this. Let me make this so it's a little bit bigger. That ain't it. Here, let's do this. Here's Joe Biden during his live stream with Hillary Clinton.
But we've also seen it when we look at the pictures.
And there's
those people on the front lines. 80% of all
healthcare
healthcare workers in America are
now,
women.
let me just preface this a little bit too. I watched about a little more than half of this live stream, and Hillary Clinton would drone on and on and on, and I missed this part because I think I fell asleep during it because she would just kept talking. But anyway, here's Joe, and here it is.
1 out of 3 jobs.
It looks like he's closing his eyes. He's resting his eyes a little bit.
Has been classified as essential.
And
so this is
and if you're thinking he's just looking down,
young and old, every kind of
he's startled. He had a little cough and he startled.
But it is having all of us, young and old, every kind of background.
Yeah, he had a little startle there. He had to open his eyes. So I just found that humorous. And yes, if you have to listen to Hillary Clinton that any longer than you have to, I could see falling asleep too. It was a little bit interesting, but let's get into some media malfeasance regarding this now. No, shut up, Hillary, please shut up. Okay, because there's a little interesting phenomenon going on. There's this this young woman named Tara Reid who has made some allegations against Sleepy Joe. But really, now, I know that when Christina Blasey Ford was making her allegations against Brett Kavanaugh, there was hundreds and hundreds of stories, daily stories, regarding Christina Blasey Ford. And it seems, just to me, and maybe, well, not just to me, some other pundits think so too, that this particular story is being blacked out. Now, here's the thing. There are, right now, when you compare the two, now I don't necessarily automatically believe Tara Reid either. The same questions you'd ask on Christina Blasey Ford's case, I would ask on Tara Reid's case. Why wait till now? Why wait till he's running for president? He was vice president for this many years. Kavanaugh was on these district courts for so many years. You never said anything then. Fine. Those are all legitimate questions, but the interesting thing about this case versus the Christina Blasey Ford case is there's about 5 different corroborating sources that gives some credence to Tara Reade's case, whereas Christina Blasey Ford's case, not a single one, not a single person recalled the events that Christina Blasey Ford described. And yet, in Tara Reade's case, there seems to be a growing number of pieces of evidence or testimonial evidence, at least, that this may have been the case. And so it's fascinating how this is media malfeasance to me, because you never stopped hearing about Christina Blasey Ford. And even some of the protestations by like the New York Times saying, well, Kavanaugh was a very big, event, very timely. Well, this guy, Joe Biden's running for the president of the United States. I think that's pretty timely too. And in fact, yesterday, Hillary Clinton never talked about it yesterday with Joe Biden. All the presidential candidates who were talking about Me Too, Christina Gillibrand, what's her name? Kristen Gillibrand. Kamala Harris, none of them saying nothing about it. What's her face? The Georgia representative who's begging to be the vice presidential. None of them are talking about it. And really the media's not talking about it either. So now this is it, but I have an update on that. But here's the story. Virtual blackout. Liberal TV networks bury Joe Biden's sex scandal. Presumptive Democratic nominee Joe Biden is facing a growing sexual assault scandal, but Americans who only watch the left-leaning TV networks may not have heard about it. Biden's former staffer Tara Reade went public with her claims on March 25th, and since then, new evidence has arisen, making her accusation far more credible than Christina Blasey Ford's claims against then Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. Yet, left-leaning mainstream media outlets have nearly boycotted the story for the past month. The Media Research Center analyzed the news coverage on ABC, CBS, CNN, MSNBC, NBC, and PBS, and the DNC. Oh, it doesn't say the DNC, but that would be redundant anyway. Between March 25th and April 27th, during that month-plus period, these networks devoted a paltry 27 minutes and 31 seconds to Reade's sexual assault allegations. By contrast, ABC, CBS, and NBC morning and evening news shows dedicated nearly 6 hours to Ford's accusations against Kavanaugh in the 12 days after Senator Dianne Feinstein went public that there was an unspecified allegation against the Supreme Court nominee. ABC and NBC have not even spent 1 second on the Tara Reade story. However, according to MRC, CBS has devoted a paltry 63 seconds. While PBS gave the story 7 minutes, CNN and MSNBC are all-day networks, so they had more opportunity to cover the story, but they haven't. MSNBC covered Tara Reade for 4.5 minutes in mid-April, and CNN completely ignored the story until Saturday, when it dedicated 14 minutes and 54 seconds to it. Perhaps these networks are too busy covering the coronavirus crisis to fit in a Joe Biden story. Hardly. Over the past month, ABC, NBC, CNN, and MSNBC all interviewed Biden live on TV, and no interview touched the allegations. Out of 77 questions posed to the former vice president, not a single one involved Tara Reade's claims. CNN finally covered the story after The Intercept reported that Reade's mother had called into Larry King Live on August 11th, 1993 to ask for advice on how to deal with the sexual assault her daughter allegedly suffered at the hands of Joe Biden. I remember it being an anonymous call, Reade told Ryan Grimm. The Media Research Center traced down that call, which confirms that Reade shared her story with her mother at the time of the assault. Now, I'll see how long this stays up on Twitter, because it's been erased from the archives of CNN on YouTube and their own news archives too on their site. But here's the call. Now, this is interesting. I don't know.
We're back. A couple more phone calls on this very important topic. Our guests are former United States Senator Howard Baker, Richard Allen, former National Security Advisor, and Lois Romano of the Washington Post. San Luis Obispo, California. Hello.
Yes, hello. I'm wondering what a staffer would do besides go to the press in Washington. My daughter has just left there after working for a prominent senator and could not get through with her problems at all. And the only thing she could have done was go to the press, and she chose not to do it out of respect for him.
Or she had a story to tell, but out of respect for the person she worked for, she didn't tell it.
That's true.
Well, but these are the people who do come to the Lois Romanos, right? The staff worker who says, I want to let you know about what's going on, either with my boss or the guy down the hall.
And a lot of these people have a sense of obligation. They feel that this public official should be accountable if it's something
They're
wrong.
whistleblowers to the press.
Exactly.
All right, so that was the call. Now, when Ford accused Kavanaugh of having attempted to rape her at some vague point in the 1980s, she could not get one person to confirm her accusation, or even say that Ford had been traumatized at the time. By contrast, Reed's friend and her brother both confirmed to The Intercept that she had been torn up about Biden's alleged abuse. Two more witnesses, a neighbor and a former co-worker, also confirmed that the alleged victim had confided in them regarding the abuse. While Ford was a liberal accusing a conservative who had been nominated for a high governor position, Reed is a liberal accusing a fellow liberal who will likely be the only viable alternative to Donald Trump for the presidency. This fact and these witnesses do not come close to proving Biden guilty, but they do add to the plausibility of the accusation. Specifically, Reed alleges that Biden shoved his hand under her skirt and penetrated her with his fingers in a Senate corridor. She filed a report with the Washington, D.C. police earlier this month. Now, and this is an important line to me, Tara Reid's accusation may or not be true, but it is a major news story regarding the presumptive nominee of one of America's two major parties, and it's utterly disgraceful for the left-leaning news outlets to effectively bury the story. Because they would, I guarantee you, they put that crazy lady on TV when she told the story about, she made up some story about Donald Trump taking her into a dressing room at some department store that was right out of a plot of Law and Order, and basically said that Trump did something that would be physically impossible unless he had some porn star proportions. I'll just leave it at that. Okay. What she claimed would have been physically impossible. But anyway, so it's kind of sad that is definitely some media malfeasance that is part of the theme today. Now, here's an update though, because there was something that I saw on Twitter this morning that fascinated me also. Here it is from let's see. Now this is RB Pundit, a guy I follow. Apparently, the Daily Beast, which is a liberal outlet. The Daily Beast has contacted some different pro-women's organizations, including Emily's List, Planned Parenthood Action Fund, NARAL, Pro-Choice America, National Organization for Women, just to get some info. Here's the shot from Daily Beast. The Daily Beast contacted 10 top national pro-women organizations for this story, including Emily's List, Planned Parenthood Action Fund, NARAL, Pro-Choice America, and the National Organization for Women. Most organizations did not respond to a detailed request for comment about the allegation by Tara Reid, a former staff assistant in Biden's Senate office who has accused the former vice president of forcibly penetrating her with his fingers in the early 1990s. Others replied and did not provide a statement. Huh. So, whether this is true or not, the fact that they're gone silent, what happened to Me Too? And Matt working here, he says, why have women's group gone dead silent on Joe Biden's sexual assault accusation? Well, we know why. Of course we know why. Now, I see someone mention Keith Ellison. Yeah, they ignored his allegations too, and now he's the attorney general in my state. The only one who really took the hit, as Jonas Pedersen mentions down here, is Al Franken. And that's mainly because Kristen Gillibrand went off on Al Franken. And now Kristen Gillibrand regrets it. Also, Kristen Gillibrand is still jumping through hoops for Joe Biden. You know what? Granted, there's been accusations against Trump, but they've all been highly publicized. But this one is getting the hide me treatment, isn't it? The hide me. That's hide me for those who can't understand what the hell I'm saying. Hey, this is P-Dog Knight, and thank you for watching today on the P-Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P-Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.